In the year 2147, humanity had finally unlocked the secret to faster-than-light travel, making its first foray into the vast reaches of the galaxy. Amid the stars, they encountered the Tharax Empire, a civilization known for its ruthlessness and technological superiority. The Tharaxians considered humans little more than an upstart species, barely worthy of notice. On the fringe of Tharaxian space, the small human colony of New Hope found itself under the iron grip of Tharaxian rule. Life was harsh, and resistance seemed futile. However, within this adversity, a spark of rebellion began to ignite. "Captain, we can't keep living like this," said Mira, a determined engineer, to Captain Hayes of the colony's militia. "The Tharaxians underestimate us. If we strike smartly, we can push them back." Hayes, a grizzled veteran, looked skeptical. "What do you propose, Mira? Their technology is decades, if not centuries, ahead of ours." Mira's eyes shone with a fierce determination. "We use what we have and turn their arrogance against them. They don't think we're capable of real resistance. We use guerrilla tactics, hit-and-run strikes. And I have an idea for a weapon they won't see coming." The captain leaned forward, intrigued despite himself. "Go on." Mira unveiled her plan. A device that could disrupt Tharaxian technology by exploiting a vulnerability in their energy shields. It was risky, but it could work if executed correctly. Days turned into weeks as the colony's brightest minds worked tirelessly under Mira's guidance. They built the device in secret, hiding their activities from Tharaxian patrols. The time for action finally came. In the dead of night, a small team led by Mira and Captain Hayes approached a Tharaxian outpost. The device was activated, sending a pulse that short-circuited the outpost's defenses. Chaos ensued as the Tharaxian guards scrambled, unprepared for such a bold attack. "Move, move, move!" Hayes shouted, leading the charge. They overran the outpost, capturing valuable supplies and weapons. It was a small victory, but it resonated deeply with the colonists. For the first time, they had hope. The success of the raid sent ripples through the human settlements scattered across Tharaxian space. Resistance groups began to form, inspired by New Hope's daring actions. Humanity's ingenuity and resilience were starting to show their true power. Back at New Hope, Mira and Captain Hayes stood atop the captured outpost, looking out over the horizon. "This is just the beginning," Mira said, her voice filled with determination. "We'll show the galaxy what humanity is truly capable of." News of the human colony's resistance spread quickly through the scattered human settlements under Tharaxian control. The small victory at New Hope ignited a flame of hope and defiance. Inspired by the daring raid, other colonies began to organize their resistance efforts, sharing strategies and resources. At the newly established headquarters of the United Earth Fleet, leaders from various human settlements gathered to plan their next moves. Admiral Carson, a seasoned strategist, addressed the assembly. "We've shown that the Tharaxians can be beaten," Carson said. "Now we need to unify our efforts. Our strength lies in our diversity and our ingenuity." Among the leaders was Dr. Ilara Kim, a brilliant scientist from the Mars colony. She had been developing a series of unconventional weapons and tactics that could exploit Tharaxian weaknesses. Her latest invention was a prototype of a stealth ship capable of evading Tharaxian detection. "These ships will allow us to strike at critical Tharaxian infrastructure," Ilara explained. "We can disrupt their supply lines, sabotage their communications, and weaken their control over our colonies." The United Earth Fleet, now a coalition of the best minds and resources from various human colonies, began to implement these new strategies. The first stealth ship, christened Shadowhawk, was launched on a mission to cripple a major Tharaxian supply depot. Captain Hayes, now leading a squadron of these stealth ships, coordinated the attack. "Remember, our goal is to hit them hard and fast. We're not here for a prolonged fight. In and out." The Shadowhawk and its sister ships descended upon the depot, their cloaking technology rendering them nearly invisible. The Tharaxians, caught off guard, scrambled to respond. But it was too late. Explosions rocked the depot as the stealth ships unleashed their payloads, destroying critical supplies and sowing chaos. As the dust settled, Hayes sent a message back to the fleet. "Mission accomplished. Depot is down. Returning to base." The success of the Shadowhawk's mission was a significant blow to the Thoraxians. It not only disrupted their operations, but also boosted the morale of human settlers everywhere. Stories of human ingenuity and daring spread like wildfire, and more colonies joined the fight. At the United Earth Fleet headquarters, Admiral Carson and Dr. Kim reviewed the latest reports. "We're making progress," Carson noted, "but we need to stay ahead of them. The Thoraxians will adapt." Elara nodded. "I have some ideas for new technology that can give us an edge. We need to keep innovating." As the United Earth Fleet continued to grow and evolve, the tide of the conflict began to turn. Humanity was no longer just a collection of isolated colonies under alien rule. They were a united force, driven by the shared dream of freedom and determined to reclaim their place among the stars. The human resistance was gaining momentum, and their victories were not going unnoticed by other oppressed species within the Thoraxian Empire. Inspired by humanity's ingenuity and bravery, several alien species began to consider joining the fight. In a secluded part of the galaxy, a secret meeting was held on the planet Zoranthia. Representatives from various species gathered to discuss the possibility of forming an alliance. There were the sleek and agile Elvari, the technologically savvy Vortans, and the formidable Brackar, known for their strength and resilience. Admiral Carson and Dr. Elara Kim represented humanity. Carson began the discussion. "Thank you all for coming. We've shown that the Thoraxians are not invincible. Together we can dismantle their empire and free all our peoples." Varric, the Brackar leader, rumbled in agreement. "The Thoraxians have oppressed us for too long. Your victories give us hope, but we need more than hope. We need a strategy." Elara nodded. "We've developed several new technologies that can be adapted to your strengths. For example, the Vortans could enhance our stealth ships with their advanced cloaking tech, and the Brackar could lead ground assaults with their unmatched combat skills." The Elvari representative, Lyra, spoke up. "Our people excel in reconnaissance. We can gather intelligence on Thoraxian movements and provide strategic advantages." The alliance was formed, and a new coalition fleet was assembled, combining the diverse technologies and skills of the various species. The first target was a heavily fortified Thoraxian outpost on the planet Raxus Prime. Captain Hayes, now commanding a mixed-species fleet, coordinated the attack. "Remember, this isn't just about winning a battle. It's about showing the Thoraxians that we are united and that their reign of terror is coming to an end." The battle for Raxus Prime was fierce. The Thoraxians were well prepared, but they were not ready for the combined might of the alliance. Elvari scouts provided crucial intelligence. Vortan cloaking devices allowed stealth ships to strike unseen, and Brackar warriors led the charge on the ground. As explosions rocked the Thoraxian defenses, Varric led his troops into the heart of the outpost. "For freedom!" he roared, his battle cry echoing through the chaos. Elara, aboard the command ship, monitored the battle's progress. "We've breached their outer defenses! Keep pushing!" The Thoraxians, realizing they were outmatched, began to retreat. The coalition fleet pressed their advantage, capturing the outpost and securing a significant victory. In the aftermath, Admiral Carson addressed the alliance. "Today, we have shown the galaxy what we can achieve when we stand together. This is just the beginning. We will continue to fight until every world is free from Thoraxian tyranny." Cheers erupted from the diverse assembly. The success of the alliance sent shockwaves through the galaxy, inspiring more species to join the cause. The Thoraxian Empire, once thought invincible, was now on the defensive. As the leaders of the alliance planned their next moves, Elara spoke to Carson. "We need to keep innovating. The Thoraxians will adapt, but so will we. Together, we'll find a way to bring them down for good." With momentum on their side, humanity and its allies pressed on with their campaign against the Thoraxian Empire. The coalition's diverse technologies and tactics proved to be a formidable combination, winning battles and liberating entire planets. The alliance's morale was high, and the Thoraxians were beginning to falter. Admiral Carson, Dr. Elara Kim, and the leaders of the allied species gathered to plan their final assault on the Thoraxian core worlds. The stakes were high. This was the decisive battle that could end the Thoraxian reign of terror once and for all. "We need to strike at the heart of their empire. Carson said, pointing to a holographic map of Thraxian space. Their capital planet, Thera Prime, is heavily fortified, but if we can take it, the rest of their empire will crumble. Varric, the Brackar leader, grunted in agreement. Our forces are ready. We will crush their defenses. Lyra, the Elvari scout, added, We have gathered critical intelligence on their fortifications. With precise strikes, we can disable their key defenses. Ilara nodded. Our latest technology includes a new type of EMP that can disable Thraxian ships and weapons for a short period. This could give us the upper hand in the initial assault. As the Coalition fleet approached Thera Prime, the tension was palpable. The Thraxians had pulled all their remaining forces to defend their home world. The skies above the planet were filled with massive warships, ready for battle. Remember, this is for the freedom of all our peoples, Carson addressed the fleet. Fight with everything you have. The battle began with a series of coordinated strikes. Elvari scouts pinpointed the locations of key defensive installations, and Vortan cloaked ships launched surprise attacks, disabling critical systems with their advanced EMP technology. Brackar warriors, supported by human and allied ground forces, landed on the planet's surface, engaging in fierce combat to take control of strategic points. Push forward, Varric roared, leading the charge, for freedom and for our future. The Thraxians fought desperately, but the combined might of the Alliance was overwhelming. Slowly but surely, the defenses of Thera Prime began to crumble. On the command ship, Ilara monitored the battle. We're making progress, but their command center is still operational. We need to take it down to ensure victory. Captain Hayes, piloting the Shadowhawk, responded, We're on it, targeting the command center now. With precise coordination, the Shadowhawk and other allied ships launched a concentrated attack on the Thraxian command center. Explosions rocked the structure, and soon it was reduced to rubble. The remaining Thraxian forces, now leaderless and demoralized, began to surrender. As the dust settled, Admiral Carson sent a message to the entire fleet. We did it. Thera Prime is ours. The Thraxian Empire has fallen. Cheers erupted throughout the fleet. The long and brutal conflict was finally over. The Coalition had triumphed, and a new era of freedom and cooperation dawned across the galaxy. Back on New Hope, Mira, Captain Hayes, and the rest of the colony celebrated their hard-won victory. We've shown the galaxy what humanity can achieve, Mira said, raising a glass. Here's to our future among the stars. Admiral Carson and Dr. Ilara Kim stood together, looking out at the stars. This is just the beginning, Carson said. There's a lot of work ahead to rebuild and ensure lasting peace. Ilara nodded. But we've proven that when we stand together, we can overcome any challenge. Humanity, alongside its new allies, had carved out a place for itself in the galaxy. The fall of the Thraxian Empire marked the start of a new chapter in the history of the cosmos, one where cooperation and ingenuity would shape the future.